Harry Kane and Vincent Kompany issue Arsenal demand after defeat, as Bayern Munich vow dramatic Champions League response. Subscribe my channel and get daily EPL all-club update news. Bayern Munich walked off the pitch in North London with frustration shadowing every step, but not with resignation. Arsenal's commanding win sent a shockwave across Europe, and it left two of Bayern's biggest leaders, Harry Kane and Vincent Kompany, publicly demanding another meeting with the Gunners. What was supposed to be a confident mission for Bayern turned into a night where Arsenal outplayed, outfought, and outran a side built to dominate Europe. Yet instead of shrinking from the setback, the response from inside the Bayern dressing room was a dramatic message that has electrified the Champions League storyline. Kane, returning once again to English soil, expected to be the headline creator. Instead, he watched Arsenal seize the night with intensity that suffocated Bayern's structure. Declan Rice controlled every key moment in midfield, Martin Odegaard dictated rhythm with icy calm, and Victor Gyökeres bullied Bayern's backline with the power and purpose that has become his Arsenal trademark. Bayern were not beaten by luck. They were beaten by conviction, execution, and an Arsenal side that looked every bit like a team preparing to take full command of Europe. Yet instead of shrinking from the setback, the response from inside the Bayern dressing room was a dramatic message that has electrified the Champions League storyline. Kane, returning once again to English soil, admitted the pain of losing in England resurfaces memories that have never stopped driving him. But this time, the frustration transformed instantly into determination. He acknowledged Arsenal's superiority on the night, but he also framed the loss as a turning point, not an ending. To him, Bayern have not just unfinished business with the Champions League, they have unfinished business with Arsenal specifically. Kompany echoed that sentiment with remarkable clarity. For a manager who has barely settled into the Bayern project, he is already shaping the club's mentality with boldness rarely seen from a coach fresh into one of Europe's highest-pressure jobs. Kompany did not downplay Arsenal's performance, he elevated it. He called Arsenal one of the most complete and mentally mature sides in Europe. He praised their structure, their leadership core, and their resilience under pressure. But wrapped inside that praise was a promise, a vow, a demand. The Bayern manager insisted that this matchup is not concluded. He expressed his desire to meet Arsenal again on the biggest possible stage. He spoke about rivalry, he spoke about pride, and he spoke about the need to measure Bayern against the very best again and again until they break through. For Kompany, facing Arsenal is no longer just a fixture. It is a benchmark for Bayern's rebirth, a test that he believes his team must pass before they can claim any true authority in European football. The defeat has opened brutal conversations behind the scenes at Bayern. Their structure without the ball was repeatedly exposed. Their midfield lacked the speed of thought that Arsenal used to devastating effect. Their backline struggled to contain Arsenal's constant vertical threat. And their transitions were too slow to exploit the few openings they created. But even as Bayern dissect the tactical problems, the emotional tone of their response is what has captured attention. Bayern are not sulking. Bayern are not hiding. Bayern are not shifting blame. They are demanding another shot at the team that humbled them. This mentality has lit up the German press, animated fan debate across Europe, and elevated this rivalry to a new level. The Champions League thrives on narratives of revenge and renewal, and Bayern's reaction has instantly set the tone for what could become one of the defining European battles of the season. Arsenal, meanwhile, are riding a level of confidence and control rarely seen in their modern era. Mikel Arteta's project continues to gather momentum with frightening speed. Their players are not just performing well, they are performing with authority. They have turned the Emirates into a fortress. They have turned their midfield into a battlefield that rarely sees them lose control. And they have turned their attack into a multi-layered threat that pulls defenses apart from every angle. The win over Bayern was not a one-off. It was a statement of readiness. Arsenal want to go deeper than ever in the competition. They want to send messages, not just win matches, and they want to be the club that European giants fear. Arteta will publicly entertain talk of responses from Kane or Kompany, but inside Arsenal's dressing room, nights like this reinforce belief. They reinforce the idea that Arsenal are no longer just contenders. They are hunters. Yet the sharpest twist in this unfolding story is how the defeat has energized Bayern instead of deflating them. Kane sees Arsenal as a hurdle he needs to clear, not avoid. Kompany sees Arsenal as an exam Bayern must pass. The Bayern squad sees Arsenal as the measuring stick for their ambitions, and the Champions League sees the birth of a rivalry that could ignite again before the season ends. The football world now waits to see whether fate, form, and the knockout draws will deliver the rematch that both Kane and Kompany have publicly demanded. If the paths align and these two sides meet again, the stakes will be heavier, the emotion sharper, and the match charged with layers of meaning that go beyond tactics or star players. Until then, Arsenal enjoy the victory and the rising buzz around their Champions League campaign. Bayern prepare for the next steps with a fire that was ignited, not extinguished, by defeat. And the entire football world watches, sensing that the story between these two clubs is far from finished.